Hey guys, it's Sean from the Rhinestone World, and today we're going to be creating some summer designs from the clip art from our summer pack. So let me go ahead and show you guys those real quick. So under Shop and Designs, you'll see our artwork packs. So we have our summer themed artwork pack 1 and 2. Now these will come with already made templates. So you can see you have 100 water themed clip art designs and 100 water focused templates. So some will be beach, some will be lake, but it's pretty much all these templates and then a lot of clip art that's included in these as well. So these are great for constructing your own designs as well. So we'll kind of go over that and show you how you can do that with these clip art images. So the first thing we're going to do is just grab our ellipse tool, and I'm going to hold control. That way I get a perfect circle. So just like that I can get my circle. And then I'm going to go to my edit tab on the design wizard, and we have our split feature here. So this is one of our really neat features. When I right click, it will split it horizontally. If I left click, it will split it vertically, and it's just going to take that halfway mark of each object you have. So right now that's a half, so if I were to split it again horizontally, it would find that middle point and put a line right through it. What's also really great about the split is that it overlaps just a little bit, so if you want to use any type of vinyl or you don't want that to show through, you'll see that with the split it automatically fixes that problem for you. So let's go ahead and add colors to this so we can see. So when I double click on the green, you'll see that it actually goes under the blue just a little bit. So with our design, we're going to split it once down the middle horizontally and then break each part again by right clicking. So now we actually have 4 different designs through here. So let's go ahead and change those up just like that. And now you can see that we have 4 sections to this design. So with our first one, we'll go ahead and delete that out. And since we're going to use the same design later for our second design, I'm just going to keep that to the side. So now that we have our design like this, we can go ahead and open our magic patterns. So right here on our Docker, you'll see magic patterns. I actually have mine open already, so you'll see it here on the right hand side if it's already open. So we have our live templates and then our magic patterns Docker. So with this design, we're going to use a distressed look. So each one of these is broken out individually. So you can go ahead and do this at the beginning if you wanted to. If we still had our full circle, I can add the distress look all at once. Change the color so we can see it. Or once we have it separated and split into these 3 sections, I can just click on each section and add the distress look. So it has a black outline right now, so that's kind of why it looks a little bit off. If I right click my X, it'll get rid of that outline, and then we'll be able to see our design a little bit easier. So once we have this all set up, we're good to start working and adding or adding our clip art to our design. So right now we just have our Beach Girl 1, and I'll go ahead and group this object behind the sun as just one object now, and then I'll go ahead and kind of just set up my vector to wherever I want it in my design. If we want a little bit smaller or larger, you can edit that before, and then once we have it set up how we want it, I'm just going to hold shift, select the background, so now I have everything selected, and I'll do a back minus front. So that's just going to subtract that vector right out from my background. So now if I put, like a background on it to show the shirt showing through, that area will show through. Right. So now we need to add our palm trees. So we have our trees right here. Now I only want a certain part of this tree. I'm going to use my rectangle tool, so I'm just going to kind of highlight a rectangle over the portion I want, So just pretty much this area here. If it's hanging off at all and if there's any open area, that's okay. It's not going to pick any of that up. So once I have my square there, I can hold shift and select the rest of my palm tree. So now I have all that selected. And then I'm just going to hit intersect. So any part of this square that's laying on top of the palm tree, it will intersect and just give me a vector for that shape. So now I can pull this away, and then I'll pull this down, and it just gives me a vector of that shape that was inside that square. So that's a really easy and nice tool to use. So again, let me go back and show that one more time. Once I have my square drawn, I just place it on the part of the palm tree that I want subtracted out, hold shift, and hit intersect. So then I can move my box and then just click on that area and drag away, and you'll see that it just creates that look for us. So I'll make this pink just so it'll stand out a little bit more and we can see it with our design. So now I'm just kind of laying this on my design and setting it up to whatever I think looks good. If I want it higher, lower, whatever I think looks best, I can set it up that way. Once you have it on one side, you can just make a quick copy, mirror it, and set it up on the other side. So once we have that just like that, we'll go ahead and weld both of our pink objects together. Once we weld it, it's the same feature. We're just going to hold shift, select our background. So now I have those objects selected, and do a back minus front. So that's just going to take the palm tree away from my design, and you won't see anything that was extra hanging off. It's just going to subtract the part that was actually touching the vector. So now all we have to do is add our text. So this one we can just do something simple. Do summer living, all caps. And whatever text you want we can use here. We're going to use in our example, it's called bubblegum. And let me make this a little bit lower, and we'll change our text to white. So we're just going to kind of size that to fit. And once we have that set up, depending on how close you want it, if you want it kind of over top, you can do that. If we want to make it so we can layer any type of vinyl or a knockout, we can add one outline or one island to the outside, and we'll do 0.05 and hit island fill. So let me change the color so we can see that. So now we have that red to the outside. Now if you'd like it as a two color like this, you can add one more to the outside, and now you can see that white again, and we'll subtract that from our background. So back minus front, you'll see that part come out, and now it's kind of just chopped and it won't overlap that area. So we have our design like here, and now we can edit any of the colors. So if we want to keep it this darker blue, these blue hues, we can just kind of change maybe our summer living to something like that. Whatever we think looks best, we can go ahead and set it up that way. So again, if we wanted to change these colors completely, I can ungroup, and we can go from a light to a darker orange, anything like that, to light orange, and then dark. And then we could change this to a red, anything like that. Whatever you think looks better, you can change these colors up and really make this design pop. So with our next design, we're going to go ahead and pretty much use the same base. Even though we've already separated these three colors, the great thing about the split is, like I said, it overlaps just a little bit. So if I need to weld these back together and make it one object, it does that without any holes or any problems. It's just a solid piece now. So we'll go ahead and take our waves and push that to the front. And I'm just going to set these up, and I just want it large enough to kind of go on the outside of each side of my sun. And then we're going to use our smart fill to fill these areas. So right here at the bottom of the Corel, you'll see smart fill. So I'll go ahead and just click on each one of these areas that I want filled. go ahead and move my waves, delete my original background, and now I have this kind of setting sun with the waves going through it. What's nice about that is once we get here, I can weld those two bottom, and again we can give it that like color where we go from a darker to a light or vice versa, and really whatever colors we want, we can make this really look good. So if you want the reds, we can stick with the reds. If you like how the blues look, we have a lot of color, like a light to dark blue. So whatever you think looks better, let's go ahead and switch those up. Right, so if you rather have something like that, whatever you think looks better, we can go ahead and use those colors. So the next thing we're going to do is grab our second vector. So this part we're going to use actually this entire palm tree look, and I'm just going to kind of bring it up here, and let me bring it to the front. So we just kind of have this nice island look just from our clip art. If you need help lining it up, if I group each one of these parts as one, so the sun is one and the palm tree is another object, if I go to edit and I select both of these objects and I hit align in center middle, that will help me center it, and then I can just slowly drag it down just like that. Alright, so same thing we kind of did with our text on the first design. We're just going to add an island to the outside of our palm trees. Alright, so we have that 0.05. If you think it's too much on the bottom trees, we can definitely go a little bit less. So we can go to 0.03. If you think that looks better, we can keep it just like that. So then we're going to take our outline, our white outline. You can see that that's what I have selected. Hold shift and select our sun. So now I have those two objects selected, and then a simple back minus front. So now whatever color we put behind it will show through. So you can see all these areas around here will actually come through the shirt. And from here we're pretty much set up. Again, these are great, and I didn't show you this on the first design, but once we have that design set up just like this, I would recommend just saving at least the template by itself, because then here we have summer living, but if someone wanted to say like peace, love, summer, or any kind of saying, maybe a location, Sarasota, Florida, you know, they're going on a spring break or anything like that, if you leave the template alone before you add the text, if you always have that, now you can easily just write in whatever text you want. So with this design, we'll make it a location. We'll do Key West, Florida. And again, we'll just use the bubble gum. Line that up. Just kind of put it at the bottom of my design. And then I'll just add another outline just so I can subtract that from the rest of my design. And then I can edit my colors. So whatever I think looks best, let's try, that's all grouped as one, so let's make this all different colors. Something like that. Put it on a black background, and bam, now the design's really popping. And again, if you want to edit the text, if you want to outline actually behind the text, we can add that as well. So if you think it looks better with maybe a white or, you know, like a dark red behind it, you can add that to your text as well. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up the summer designs. If you guys have any additional questions on any of these designs, give us a call at 941-755-1696 or shoot us an email at info@therhinestoneworld.com. Again, this was Sean. Have a great day.